She was Willie. Okay. No. It's not her, though. Yeah. Did he go by Will sometimes, or Willie? No, it's not him. It's not him. Who was the Willie with the grandma named Willie? Have you lost your father? Okay, it's not her then. And this is a guy anyway. It's not your William. Whoever here has lost a William. But okay, he went by William. It's not him. What were you going to say? No, that's not him. It's a William who. And he was William. They called him Willie. Okay, but who's yours? He went by, but did he go by Willie? No, it's your Willie. Yeah. Do you want to come up? And you've lost your mom too, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Willie's he's just the doorman for your mom. That's all that is.
Really?
Yeah.
It is my maternal grandfather.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. He is, he's a very, okay, so first let me tell you about Willie. He's a very, mannerly, doing things proper. So it's like he's introducing your mom, because a gentleman would introduce a lady, that kind of thing. Okay. So really this is about your mom. But I do want you to know that your grandfather recognizes that you have so much strength in you, as well as that grace and that beauty and that dignity. He just really thinks you're a wonderful, wonderful tribute to the family. His hat is off to you. Truly, truly. He loves you so much. He's so proud of what you represent, because you represent the best of the family. So he's honoring that. Yeah, very. And it comes, he says, I come from a generation when you say that about someone, when your words mean something, and that means everything to him, to say that he loves you and that you make him so proud. So he's recognizing that. Now then your mom breezes in. She says sometimes it's the softest touch that makes the biggest difference. And you always had such a soft and gentle touch with her, and you were so patient with her. And I know she taught you that, but she says just thank you for giving her what she taught you to give, and for being for her what she hoped she was for you too. Mm-hmm. Which is really beautiful. So here's what she says. She says that in the end, when it was all said and done, there was just a fullness and a completion to that relationship. Mm-hmm. And she says she wants you to know she just couldn't have done it any better, and it couldn't have asked for anything more, that you just gave her your all, and she received. And she says thank you for that.
That's great.
There's a Carol, or Karen, who's still here.
Carol, I grew up with her. She's still my best friend.
Your mom loves her, and she says just to thank her for being such a good friend. So she's recognizing her importance, or her part in your life. And there's two other children, or there was two siblings. Do you have two siblings who are still here? So your mom had two children. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's honoring her two children, or the two of you. And then there's one other, do you have one child?
I have 4 boys.
Is there one girl in the family of all the granddaughters?
Well, I now have a daughter, yeah.
Just one's married then?
Pardon?
One of your sons has gotten married?
Well, no, I have 3 daughter-in-laws, but Mary and John, I have a daughter now through him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's a very important part of your family.
Yeah,
that would be the one daughter. So this is what your mom is recognizing. There was a deep connection between you and she, mm-hmm. between you and your daughter now. And she says that was a long time coming, but it wasn't about the time it took to get there. It was about the rightness now that it's here. And there's so much right in your life right now. Oh, yeah. And she's recognizing that. And she says, you didn't really have to go looking for it and it's not what you expected either,
Right.
but that it's very, very, very right. So she's recognizing that. There's an April birthday or anniversary in the family, so she's
Well,
just...
that was my mother's.
Yeah, she's again honoring that, and I know you celebrate that and think of her around that time,
Mhm.
so she's mentioning that. There's these, like a pearl necklace
Yeah, oh my gosh.
that's hers that she's wanting me to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She waited for years for a pearl necklace,
Mhm.
and so now I have that pearl necklace, yeah.
She says she has a request, just a humble request, if maybe you would wear it tomorrow for Mother's Day.
Sure.
That would mean a lot to her,
Yeah.
to honor her spirit.
Yeah.
She says, and thank you. There's also these, she's shown me these cinnamon rolls and like these little danishes. I don't know if she used to cook a lot or make homemade cinnamon rolls or breads and things like that. Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
She says the pearls are enough. You don't have to make cinnamon rolls for everybody tomorrow. Throw on the pearls and call it good. It's your day. You shouldn't work. There's a Hannah or Helen is connected to the family too, that your mom's recognizing or that she's honoring. There's a father. Have you lost your dad? He just took over the microphone. There's a B like Bill or Brody who's connected to your family that your dad's recognizing.
Well, I have an uncle, Bill.
Yeah, your dad's just recognizing him or mentioning him. Your dad's talking about selling a house or making some real estate changes.
Oh my.
And he says it's a good thing, that's a good change, or don't back away from that, or to don't shy away from making some of those decisions. He's also shown me down south, like Texas. Well, first I was driving through Oklahoma, and then he showed me down into Texas. So I don't know if you've got some family connections down there, or there's some friends, someone in that area, or if your family does.
My sister and her husband are moving to Texas, and my nephew just moved to Texas. And
You'll be visiting. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you'll be visiting lots, and it's a good connection for you guys. There's a convertible car, too, that your dad has shown me. I don't know if you'd, it's in the past. Did you have a car that had, like, T-tops on it, or were you a convertible?
Well, it was a Volkswagen convertible. It was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, yeah.
Yeah, he's remembering that car. There's no Volkswagens in heaven.
When you get rid of it.
That's right, there's no Volkswagen. That thing went to the junkyard, not heaven. Yeah, he's just remembering that car, though, just kind of teasing about it. And there's these, I don't know if you had donated a lot of his shirts, or if you'd not too long ago found a shirt that reminded you of him, or one of his shirts. But he's talking about shirts and jackets and things like that. But he doesn't need you to hang on to any of that kind of thing. He said just all those things.
Yeah. My ex-wife took his jackets and shirts, and she was asking me about those not too long ago, whether I wanted them back.
Yeah.
And I declined. So.
He says you didn't need them.
Yeah.
And he's acknowledging that it had just come up. And he says, again, you don't need them. They were his, and it's his style, and somebody else can benefit from it. You've got plenty of your own style. And yeah, he's recognizing that. Someone in the family either was, he's talking about like, not dentures, but I don't know if someone had talked about going to dental school, or if someone was studying about to be a hygienist, or something to do with ear, nose, and throat, or with dental issues. Did you have someone?
Well, you know, when my in-laws passed away from my first husband,
Mm-hmm.
everything we went through, there was a pair of dentures, and it seemed like, you know, they would get new, but they would put the old in different drawers, and
Okay.
and I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but they were just everywhere.
Did you and your father-in-law, your former father-in-law, get along fairly well?
Yeah. I mean, on the outside.
Right.
Sometimes I thought he was pretty rough.
Here's the thing, and it's him, because you're dad, but then I see for your former father-in-law, too. He says it's all good between the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really glad that you are where you are,
Oh, great.
instead of where you could have been. And he sees that. And it's nothing against his son. It's nothing against anybody. He says just sometimes things change, and they need to change, because that's the way life is. but he appreciates that you did so much with the cleaning out after they made their transitions, and you chipped in, even when it wasn't convenient. But he says, thank you for standing up for what was right, but thank you for giving yourself permission to move on. There's a Lloyd or Alan from your former husband's family, too, who's there with his father-in-law. And you may not remember who it is, but I just wanted to acknowledge that his dad is mentioning that. It's they're an interesting group, that family. I just want you to know that the long and short of it is they love you. And again, his dad says sometimes things change and then you just move on.
That's great.
There's an Emma or Emily or Mary who's connected with your mom.
Well, Emily is one of my daughter-in-laws,
Mm-hmm.
and my name is Mary.
Oh, you're Mary. Yeah, she's again just honoring that.
Yeah.
Your mom sends her love to Emily. She says she's a hard worker and tends to really take things to heart. She's a good woman, and she says just bless her and tell her she's a very welcome and important part of the family. There's a Tim or a Tom who's here too.
Tom is my ex-husband.
Yeah, your mom says, that's all I just wanted to say. She doesn't have anything to say except Tom. Tom's a good, yeah. But she says again, too, sometimes things change, and that's okay. But she's really, really glad that you are where you are. And again, with your daughter, there's just such a beautiful relationship there, and your mom's glad that you have that. Your mom is taking me back to 1971. She says there were a lot of changes in the family or some things happening during that time frame. And then also in 1967, she says that was a time of a lot of change in the family. Or
that was my first child.
Yeah, that was a big change. Yeah, your mom said that was a huge end of an era and beginning of a new time. So she's recognizing that. And then in 1994, there were some changes in the family too, because she's telling me about that time frame. Also in 2007, she says there was a lot going on in that time too. A lot of changes of hands in the family and things changing. And she says, again, no matter what's happened, she's so proud to see how you always make the best of things, how you always look for the good in things, and how you just bring such grace and love to everything you do. And again, I want to finish with your grandfather. He says, no matter what the changes have been, no matter what the challenges that have been presented, you have always conducted yourself with grace and with love. And he says, thank you, thank you. Your mom sends her love. Your dad says he's so proud of you, so proud of you. Have you been thinking about like alternatives to alternative energies, or something with like using more wind power, or trying to be more energy efficient or more conscious about that?
I was building an energy efficient home.
You did?
Just completed that.
Oh, that's so cool. Your dad says that's so cool. Yeah, you did a good job. He's acknowledging that. That was a lot of work, and definitely you did it because you wanted to do it, not because it was easy to do it or conventional. And he says again, I love my son. I'm proud of him. Tell him he's doing good. So yes, you are both so loved. And your mom says Happy Mother's Day, and get her pearls. Thank you. All right. So thank you very much, both. You're welcome.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you. I would love to see pictures of your home that